May I request everyone to please rise for an opening prayer to be led by Mr. Martin Paz.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of God, and the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear God, thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the knowledge and wisdom that you have showered upon us. Please give us good health and guide this today's debate and give us more blessings. All this we pray through Lord our Christ. Amen.
Okay, now I ask everyone to please take your seats. To the honorable adjudicators, debaters, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Before we start our debate today, please set your headphones or any devices that may disturb our activity today to the silent mode. Especially for the audiences, please do not leave or enter the venue during the speech. Welcome to the first round of Bacolod National High School English debating with the motion, should students be allowed to use smartphones inside the classroom? On my right side, acting as affirmative team from this debate is the blue team from grade 9. With Miss Chrissy Grace Mama as the first speaker, Miss Mary Axel Palmaria as the second speaker, and Alexandra Eugenio as the third speaker, and the reply speaker will be delivered by Miss Chrissy Grace Mama. Then on my left side, acting as negative team for this debate is the team from the grade 9, the red team. The grade 10 rather, with Miss Beverly Shason as the first speaker, Miss Major Daton as the second speaker, and Miss Janica Faustino as the third speaker. And the reply speaker will be delivered by Miss Beverly Shason. There are 3 adjudicators who will adjudicate this competition this afternoon. The first one is Miss Cintros Emilio, our school sports coordinator. The second adjudicator is Mrs. Michelle May L. Gamboa, our reading coordinator. And the last one, we have Mrs. Grace O. Garciano, our English coordinator. Our official timer this afternoon is Miss Lindell J. Senior. Then I would like to tell the regulation of this debating competition. In this debate, for the substantive speech, the timekeeper will knock at 2 minutes to show that point of information can be delivered. The timekeeper will bell once at 2 minutes to show the time for point of information is over. The timekeeper will bell twice at 3 minutes. Then, the timekeeper will knock continuously to show that the time is over, and any further explanation will be penalized. For the reply speech, the timekeeper will knock once at 2 minutes, and the timekeeper will knock twice at 3 minutes. Finally, the timekeeper will knock continuously to show that the time is over. Now, we come into our debate today. To open the case from the affirmative team, here is the first speaker of the affirmative team, Miss Chrissy Grace Mama.
Good afternoon to the respected speakers, cautious timekeeper, honorable judges, members of the opposite team, and members of the floor. Before I put forward my case today, I would like to define today's motion. This House believes that students should use smartphones inside the classroom. According to the Dictionary of Contemporary English, smartphone refers to a mobile phone that performs many of the functions of a computer, typically having a touchscreen interface, internet access, and an operating system capable of running downloaded applications. In short, our motion today is defined as allowing students to use mobile phones inside the classroom as it performs many functions for the benefits of the students. Today, I, as a Prime Minister, will be the first speaker of the affirmative and will present one argument. Today, we, the affirmative side, strongly believe with the motion to allow students to use smartphones inside the classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the hall, smartphones have undoubtedly become an integral part of modern society and increasingly common among K-12 children and adolescents. According to a recent study conducted by Pearson Education, 82% of high school students use mobile devices regularly. Of course, with the increasing popularity of cell phones among students, comes the sharply contested debate as to whether or not they should allow it in classrooms. While there is a valid case to be argued by parents and educators that cell phones are disruptive to the learning environment and can lead to negative behaviors, such as cheating on exams and playing games or doing Facebook while the teacher is discussing. But cell phones can certainly enrich and become a useful educational tool in supplementing teaching instructions. Ensuring correct use of cell phones in the classroom serves teachers setting expectations for students from the beginning. According to an Edutopia article, smartphones from toy to tool, teachers should develop, of course with the help of students, an agreement or contract regarding engagement and cell phone usage in class. This agreement should clearly outline consequences for misuse of cell phones in the classroom and for breaking an agreement. Therefore, as a conclusion, we, the government, strongly agree that students should be allowed to use smartphones in the class. Thank you.
The first speaker of affirmative team spent 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Then, to start the case from the negative team, here is the first speaker of the negative team, Ms. Beverly Shason.
My respected chairman, adjudicators, the speakers of the affirmative side, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. My name is Beverly Shason, and I am arguing against the topic, should students be allowed to use smartphones in the class? We agree with the definition given by the affirmative team. However, we, the negative team, believes that some of the statements are false. I will be discussing points that are in contrary to the points given by the first speaker of the affirmative side. My first point is, using smartphone in the class is a distraction to the group. A ringing phone, or beeping text, or buzzing reminder are all distracting sounds that disrupt the classroom. School is a child's work, and if smartphones are going off, how much work is anyone getting done? It's bound to happen people forget to silence their phones and then everyone is distracted. Now to my second point, this smartphone inside the classroom is a distraction for the individual. So let's say, for the instance, that the cell phone is silenced or set to vibrate only. The rest of the class may not be bothered by the phone, but the person holding the phone certainly will be. Every time a message comes in or a phone vibrates, the first reaction is to stop what one is doing, including listening to a teacher who is presenting a lesson and answer the call or check the text. Learning can only be hampered by allowing this type of distraction. Other points that I would like to raise are, using smartphones can cause an reduction in learning. Even a cell phone used to feel limited in a school, say during lunch and study time. There is still an environment of expectation that someone will call or text. Students are focusing their phones and messages during times when prior to cell phones. Students will talk about their lessons or homework for the day. So ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we strongly believe that the use of smartphones inside the classroom should be strictly prohibited. Thank you.
The first speaker of the negative team spent 2 minutes and 41 seconds. To continue our debate today, I would like to call the second speaker of the affirmative team, Ms. Mary Axel Palmaria.
Yes, I am very proud to say that. A very good afternoon I bid to the members of this most respected House. The motion of today's debate is that this House would allow students to use smartphones inside the classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, we, the affirmative team, strongly agree with this statement as we believe that the use of smartphones is necessary in order to have an easy access in learning. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to rebut all the points laid out by the opposition. Cell phones can be a powerful participation tool in the classroom. For instance, the website platform Poll Everywhere allows teachers to create poll questions. Students respond by texting the response to a number, and then live results can instantly be reviewed by the classroom. This way, a teacher can quickly determine the overall understanding of a topic and adjust their lesson plan accordingly. Cell phones can serve as a tool for quick reference in the classroom. When it comes to double-checking spelling, word definitions, or even to look up alternative word choices, apps like the Merriam-Webster Dictionary app and the Webster's Thesaurus app are quick and easy to use resources. For students studying foreign languages, there are many useful foreign dictionary apps available for free, as well as apps such as the Conjugate Spanish Verbs app that can help students if they are unsure of the right way to conjugate a certain verb. Additionally, being able to look up news articles online via cell phone is a good way for students to be able to consult and contribute to meaningful classroom discussions. News-O-Matic is an app that covers relevant news of the day through images, maps, videos, and games, and all articles are written by children writers. I have here some reasons why we should allow students to use smartphones inside the classroom. First, students are taught responsibility, avoid of double standards, emergency cases, for education purposes, and memory assistance. And according to my research, 55% say yes that it should be allowed to use smartphones inside the classroom, and only 45% say no. I really believe that cell phone can give so much benefits in each student when it comes to their education life. Cell phone can be a partner to us students for us to achieve a high grade and a wide learning. So we, the affirmative team, are strongly agree that cell phones should be allowed inside the classroom. Thank you.
The second speaker of affirmative team spent 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Then, to continue our debate today, I would like to call the second speaker of the negative team, Ms. Majorin Daton.
Allow me to ask these questions which I require the second speaker of the affirmative side to answer. How can you make use of your smartphone inside the classroom in the absence of internet connection? How can you give an immediate response to your teacher through text and messages if there is no internet connection? How can you look for new articles online if you do not have internet connection inside the classroom?
As what we said, internet connection is not necessary because there are some educational apps that is available without internet connection.
I commend you for your answer, but I still strongly believe that the student should not use smartphones inside the classroom. In other words, smartphones are of no use inside the classroom when internet connection is not available. The difficulty of sending necessary information to your teacher will be observed because of that. In conclusion, using smartphones inside the classroom can just cause problems. With easily accessible technology that smartphones offer, comes a whole new world of issues and problems for schools. If students leave their cell phones home and school boards create policies disallowing their use in schools, then students have no choice but not to use one inside the classroom. Thus, students should not be allowed to use smartphones inside the classroom. Cell phones cause distraction. Students can easily be distracted when their phones ring or vibrate, and the learning process will be totally disrupted when the students start to send and read messages or make and receive calls. Moreover, with the advent of smartphones, it is now easy for students to access the internet and play or shop online. Cell phones can be used in cheating. Text messaging is the new note passing. Students can exchange text messages with the test answers on them without the teachers knowing. Cell phones can be used in bullying. Students can take a video or a picture of their teachers and or classmates that can be dehumanizing. Cell phones can be detrimental to school safety. Cell phones can cause chaos during bomb and other threats because of the parents rushing to the school. Cell phones can be health hazards. Constant exposure to the radiation emitted by mobile phones can be bad for the students. Radiation becomes a problem if we are exposed to too much of it. At very high levels, high energy radiation can cause sickness and death. Most effective way to protect against radiation are to limit exposure time. Thank you.
The second speaker of the negative team spent 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable adjudicators, this is the third speaker of the affirmative team, Miss Alexandra Eugenio.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests, judges, and students. The topic of our debate is that, should students be allowed to use smartphones inside the classroom? We, the affirmative team, believes that students should be allowed to use smartphones inside the classroom. Most schools have at least one computer in the classroom and one computer lab. Sometimes this still isn't enough. It can also be expensive to provide a computer to each student at school, so a good option is to use cell phones for research instead. Some people think that some apps are bad and students will get distracted and use them in school. And the truth is that cell phones have many educational apps as well. Which do you think would be more fun and exciting for a student? Either studying with a boring book that is hard to understand, or playing an educational app that is still studying. The first speaker for the negative has tried to tell you that using smartphone in the class is a distraction to the group. A ringing phone, or beeping text, or buzzing reminder are all distracting sounds that disrupt the classroom. Even the cell phone use could be limited in a school. See, during lunch and study time, there is still an environment of expectation that someone will call or text. Students are focusing on their phones and messages during time when prior to cell phones. Students would talk about their lessons or homework for the day. This is wrong because students learn a way they are comfortable. There is a widespread use of smartphones by learning a way smartphones by younger children. More and more, students know how to use them. They are becoming the most used tool by children. The second negative speaker has tried to tell you that smartphones are of no use inside the classroom when internet connection is not available. The difficulty of sending necessary information to a teacher will be absurd because of that. This is wrong because cell phones can be used as memory aids. Students can document their lessons by taking pictures and or videos to enhance retention. With smartphones, learning can also be more interactive and fun. Cell phones can be used as paper and pencil. Students use their phones for taking down notes and even for saving reminders. So, Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests, teachers, and students, in conclusion, our team believes that we should use smartphones inside the classroom because the homework qualities are going to be better and researchers are going to be more reliable. Thank you.
The third speaker of the affirmative team spent 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable adjudicators, this is the third speaker of the negative team, Miss Janica Faustino.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests, teachers, and students. The topic for our debate is that should students be allowed to use smartphones inside the classroom? The first speaker for the affirmative has tried to tell you that smartphones have undoubtedly become an integral part of modern society.
and increasingly common among K-12 children and adolescents. This is wrong because it is noticeable that students nowadays get engaged with online games rather than browsing important addresses to gain important information for better understanding. Is this how K-12 program develops a student? The second affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that being able to look up news articles online via cell phone is a good way for students to be able to consult and contribute to meaningful classroom discussions. This is wrong because the articles that could be downloaded which are actually beneficial in classroom discussion could be possibly a failure due to the absence of internet connection. Remember, not all schools have internet connection, especially those who are located in far-flung areas. Our first speaker spoke that smartphone inside the classroom is a distraction for the individual. So, let's say for instance, that the cell phone is silenced or set to vibrate only. The rest of the class may not be bothered by the phone, but the person holding the phone certainly will be. Every time a message comes in or a phone vibrates, the first reaction is to stop what one is doing, including listening to a teacher who is presenting a lesson, and answer the call or check the text. Learning can only be hampered by allowing this type of distraction. Our second speaker emphasizes that using smartphones inside the classroom can just cause problems. With easily accessible technology that smartphones offer comes a whole new world of issues and problems for schools. If students leave their cell phones home and school boards create policies disallowing their use in school, then students have no choice but not to use one inside the classroom. Thus, students should not be allowed to use smartphones inside the classroom. So, Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests, teachers, and students, in conclusion, our team believes cell phones can be health hazards. Constant exposure to the radiation emitted by mobile phones may be bad for the students. Cell phones can be used in bullying. Students can take a video or a picture of their teachers and or classmates that can be dehumanizing. Students can exchange text messages with test answers on them without teachers knowing. Thank you.
The third speaker of the negative team spent 2 minutes and 1 second. To end up our debate today, here is the reply speech from the affirmative team, the Miss Christy Grace Mama.
Again, good afternoon to the respected speakers, cautious timekeeper, honorable judges, members of the opposite team, and members of the floor. Using the cell phone as a study tool for students who want to study on the go but don't want to wrap their heavy computers around. There's a site like Study Boost. Once the student registers, they can create their own series of study questions. Then, using their cell phones, they can have the questions sent to them via text message. From there, the students answer the question by replying to the Study Boost number and will instantly receive the results. Cell phones can serve as a tool for quick reference in the classroom when it comes to double-checking spelling, word definition, or even to look up alternative word choices. Apps like Merriam-Webster Dictionary app and Webster Thesaurus app are quick and easy-to-use resources. For students who are studying foreign languages, there are many useful foreign dictionary apps available for free, as well as apps such as Conjugate Spanish Verbs app, and that can help students if they aren't sure of the right way to conjugate a certain verb. Additionally, being able to look up news articles online via cell phone is a good way for students to be able to consult and contribute to meaningful classroom discussion. News-O-Matic is an app that covers relevant news of the day through images, maps, videos, or games, and all articles are written by children writers. According to the Student Pulse survey, a large number of students, where 75% believe that using personal devices in the classroom has improved their ability to learn and retain information. 58% of the respondents use their cell phones to take pictures of lecture slides. 41% use them to Google answers to in-class questions, and 39% use them to access a digital textbook, while 47% have downloaded a PDF of a textbook. Bribery is done on a cell phone in the classroom debate. There's no denying that each year, mobile devices are becoming more and more integrated into every facet of our daily life, and that teachers will continue to integrate them in one minor form or another into their lesson plans and teaching styles. Hopefully, this article has helped to shed light on some potential positive benefits of this rapid technological and cultural change, which sharply contrasts the experience many of us had when we were in school. Students should be allowed to use smartphones inside the classroom, but they should take responsibility and know their limitations. Do you think that cell phones can be useful resources in the classroom? Are you a teacher with experience with integrating cell phones into your teaching style? We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thank you.
Thank you. The reply speech from the negative team will be delivered by Miss Beverly Shasson.
Respected Chairman, adjudicators, the speakers of the affirmative side, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. In today's technological world, cellular phones have become an integral part of day-to-day life. People of all ages rely on them for both communication and entertainment. However, some people disagree on whether cell phones are appropriate for certain places, such as the classroom. It's important for teachers, parents, and students to understand the detrimental effects of cell phones in the class and schools. Technology can disconnect students from social interactions. Many people are skeptical of technology, and what it does to students and everyone else is the ability to verbally communicate. By creating assignments in the class that use both technological tools as well as oral presentations and group collaboration, students will learn to be dynamic in how they learn and interact with others. Sarah Squidge, history professor of Randolph College in Virginia, believes that technology is a tool to be used in the classroom, rather than an end in itself. The teacher is in control and knows how to bring the best out in the student. Finally, smartphones can encourage bullying and hazing. Bullying and hazing are very serious problems in schools across the U.S. As mentioned before, most smartphones do come equipped with camera and video technology, which can be used to videotape and photograph bullying and hazing. Because of many students who encourage and enjoy bullying and hazing likely want to show what they have done to other students, they can use their smartphones to videotape incidents to ridicule the person they targeted. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we are giving the audience a chance to ask questions to both teams for further understanding about the topic. So are there any questions from our audience?
To the second speaker of the affirmative side, how will you encourage students to use smartphone properly knowing that they are into computer and online games?
Thank you for your question. I will encourage the students by empowering them on how to use smartphones properly. If it is necessary to conduct seminar and workshop on how to download applications, then I will have to. Proper counseling is also important. Proper counseling is also important for those students who used to play online games instead of spending most of their time browsing important addresses. Because I believe that the main problem here is their attitudes, not their ability to play games. Thank you.
To the second speaker of the negative side, if you disagree to use smartphone inside the classroom, what other device or materials can you suggest to be used inside the classroom? for further acquisition of learning.
Thank you for your question. In previous times, traditional education produced productive individuals who can cope up with the complexities in our society. Dictionaries and calculators and other devices can be used to acquire knowledge and calculate things. However, it is important to cope up with the fast-changing world, especially we are in the 21st century. But using smartphones inside the classroom is useless when there is no internet connection. Thank you.
Alright, are there any questions from our audience? If none, then let's proceed to the assessment of our adjudicators. So let's start with our first adjudicator, Mrs. Michelle May Gamboa.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I would like to congratulate the both groups. So for the affirmative side, very good because you were able to construct correct arguments. So you use effective reasoning and your arguments were organized in a way that is logical. So it means it's easy to understand. And you maintain your own position. And your rebuttals also show evidence of good listening skills. And most importantly, you presented research-based arguments. So for the negative side, congratulations also. So you demonstrated confidence. You speak in a clear and comprehensible way. But you rely mainly on notes, and there are missing arguments, especially supporting evidences. So some arguments were also weak.
Thank you, ma'am. And now let's proceed with Ma'am Grace Garciano.
First, I would like to congratulate you guys for doing such a very good job. Okay, so here is my comment for your performance. Okay, for the affirmative side, okay, I would like to congratulate again for using references and evidences in your argument. Okay, that only proves that cell phone, the students should bring cell phone in your classroom. No, the uses of the evidences, okay, gave us the explanation and the reason why the student should be allowed to have that phone inside the classroom. So on the other side, the negative side, I would commend that next time if you do the debate, okay, I think you must use some more references to oppose the positive side. That's all. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. And now, may we call in the chairman of the adjudicators, Ma'am Feli Grace Cesar, for her assessment and announcement of the winner.
So before anything else, I would like to congratulate both houses for a well job done. So thank you for researching. It's evident that in your speeches, you were able to show that you have researched very well in the way you have answered the questions. Both teams were able to before anything else, I would like to congratulate both teams, both houses, for a job well done. So thank you for giving us your insights about your side. And both teams were well researched. Both teams have been impressively articulate and intelligent in how they answer the questions, in how they respond or rebut on certain arguments from the opposite side. And as a judge, I have to admit that you have placed me in a conflicting decision, whether I would believe the affirmative side or the opposing side. But since both of the teams are good, it goes down to the other features of language. You see, language is more than the words that we use. It's more than the vocabulary that we have in our heads, but it's more of how we communicate and how we use other prosodic features of language in expressing our ideas. So if you are arguing about something, your volume, your pitch, and even your gestures and your eye contact should also go with the arguments that you are trying to state. So my decision will be who has convinced me with the total package that you have as a house. So that would be the deciding part on my side. But as we have discussed with the other adjudicators, we have decided that in this debate, with the topic, should cell phones be used in classrooms, we all agree that the affirmative side has won this debate. So congratulations for the affirmative side. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Chairman of the adjudicators. And we would like to congratulate also the affirmative team for winning this debate. And of course, same credit and congratulations is given to the negative side. So congratulations to all teams, and that concludes our debate this afternoon. And I would like to ask the two teams to congratulate one another by shaking hands, and to our audiences and our timekeeper and our adjudicators this afternoon, thank you for coming.